And welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and today I am filming this video at, let me actually see what time it is. I'm filming this video at 10:39 in the morning because then I have all day to think about how creeped out I am and I don't have to do this at midnight. Normally I film really late at night. It's just kind of my sleep schedule, but for once your girl is like going to bed at 10 p.m., waking up at 6 a.m., I don't know if it'll last, but right now it is wonderful. So I wanted to go ahead and film this video while there was a lot of daylight, and this is, you can probably tell by the title, a haunted doll update. I have not had one of these in a really long time, and it's mostly because Ava, my haunted doll, I had not noticed any specific activity from her. Nothing had really happened with her, and for the most part, I have to be really honest, you guys, a lot of my paranormal experiences at home had kind of taken like several steps down. If you watched my Something Really Scary is Happening series, in which I talked about my haunted apartment and so on and so forth, a lot of that activity has really dulled, and I wouldn't say it's gone completely. Sometimes things still happen, but it's nothing to the magnitude of what it was like before, where it was like I came into my bathroom and the whole thing was totally flooded and it was like all of the pipes had burst, except none of the pipes had burst, you know? Just really dark things like that, very like physical, like I can't ignore this sort of things, really haven't been happening for the most part. I think a lot of that has to do with also though, there were some paranormal things that happened after the Marilyn Monroe hotel incident with Haley and I, just some very like light paranormal things, I would say, like interesting more than anything, not even necessarily super scary, and they were gonna have their own video, but today I really just wanted to focus on Ava, my haunted doll. And if you guys are new subscribers, you may not know about Ava, my haunted doll. I did buy her on eBay. It is claimed that her spirit, well, it's claimed that Ava herself was found in the catacombs of Paris, in the, you know, Paris catacombs, obviously, like as above, so below. I need to watch that movie again. I love that movie. That movie is so underrated. And there were a lot of things where like the seller really played it up that this was a haunted doll, that her like music box, she has a little music box here in the back, would go off. Ava doesn't look like a super old or historic doll to me. She doesn't look okay. I ordered groceries and I'm actually about to have to go and meet my Amazon Prime Now shopper, but long story really short, there were a lot of things that were said to happen with her and none of them ever really happened. There were a few things that I was like, maybe these could be attributed to her, but I never really had any clarification that Ava herself had a specific haunting. There were a few things where I was like, that could be her. That makes a little bit of sense. Like the piano playing by itself right where she sat in my old living room, like so on and so forth. But there was never anything where I was like, that's Ava, that is a haunted doll. The first real thing that I can and should say is that the only real time Ava has been out and about was I took her on set with a shoot that I did for Google. I feel really awkward holding her up like this, so I'm just gonna kind of place her down. So I had taken her on set for a shoot I did with Google, and she was kind of like a prop. She was there to like make the little girls that were still haunting the old historic Harris house that I did my Google Pixel 2 video at. She was really there to make them all feel better. She was there like but I mean, it was kind of a funny video. I didn't mean it seriously. No one really meant it seriously when I brought her as a prop. She was just kind of there for extra spookiness, extra sort of comedic value. Other than that, really, she has been stowed away, and I don't really have her out, and there are a multitude of reasons for that. But part of it is that, like, I did kind of feel like, well, I bought a haunted doll that was specifically haunted on purpose. You know, I bought Ouija boards. I bought a vintage Ouija board. I bought Annabelle, who's old. You know what I mean? Like, I went into those things not ever thinking this is a haunted item. This is an item with a soul attached to it. And people give me a lot of flack for buying like vintage items like that. And I just have to say, like, just because something is old doesn't mean that it's haunted. Just because something is like slightly creepy like Annabelle doesn't mean that she is a haunted doll. But I did specifically go into buying Ava thinking like, I want a haunted doll. I'm going to get a haunted doll. And it kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies when I really sat down and I was honest with myself and I thought about it. I like dolls. I do have like a small doll collection, but I don't feel like I really should have gone into buying a specifically haunted doll. You know what I mean? Will I ever do it again? Maybe. I really don't know. I mean, there is like a certain intrigue when thinking to yourself that you're taking in such a huge piece of history with such an interesting backstory. And there are a lot of frauds on the internet and whatever, but I really didn't think much of Ava. And then I posted my eBay haunted doll video, but let's actually rewind a bit to when I filmed it. When I filmed that night, I cannot begin to tell you guys the amount of paranormal stuff that was happening around me. I heard people running up and down the stairs all night. I literally have chills remembering this. I heard someone running up and down the stairs all night, and I would check and there would be, you know, my cats couldn't make like the sound of elephants running up and down the stairs. I have a doggy gate, so there were no dogs. My guinea pigs are down here. My crested gecko can't make that much noise. Like, you know what I mean? There was no explanation, and my brother was dead asleep. Dead asleep. As in, like, he was passed out in his bed. And I would say, Christian? No answer. I would check, no answer. I even recorded part of me walking up the stairs, and nothing happened obviously when I recorded because I had heard the thumping. I came out and I was gonna record it because it was so loud. It sounded like a herd of elephants running up and down my staircase in my home. And I thought that's weird, but maybe it's because I'm researching like the spirits, maybe whatever does reside in my apartment thinks it's a mockery. I do think that there is something dark in my home, and I don't really think it's attached to this apartment. I think it's attached to me, but maybe that's a story for a different day. And at the end of the day, I was just kind of like, maybe whatever this is doesn't like that I'm talking about haunted dolls, but nothing had really happened during my research. It was really when I talked about the haunted dolls in that video that like herds of elephants running around, just like noises all of the time that I couldn't explain. And when I posted the video, there were a few comments that kind of like got my attention. And this one person was like, you know, when these people are talking about adopting spirits, like you're adopting a child, adopting a pet, it makes me feel really bad for Ava because you keep her locked away now, like you don't have her out on display. And when I read that, I was kind of like, that actually makes me feel pretty bad too. Like, I don't know how I would feel if like somebody had taken me into their home and like, this is a spirit in a doll, supposedly. Of course, I can't prove that she's haunted. I really didn't think until recently that she was, and now I have reasons to believe that, but like, in the moment, I was just kind of like, I get that, like I understand that. And then somebody else commented, you know, Ava might be really jealous that you're talking about all of these haunted dolls on eBay, whatever. And I was kind of like, again, like, huh, that's weird. So fast forward a little bit, and this was the night that I was filming my Dear David video and a few other paranormal stories. And in between filming, I just got this sense of unease, and I can't really explain it. It's like, and I'm gonna try my best, and I'm trying my best to stop ignoring things that I know are real and that I truly see, because Haley always tells me like, don't let your spiritual ego get in the way, be honest about what you're feeling, what you're seeing. And I remembered at one point, I just kept feeling eyes on me all freaking night that I was like mass filming Dear David, just a bunch of other things that night too. And I just felt uncomfortable, to say the least. And I came into this office and I saw what looked like a huge black mass standing over here on this side of the room. I blinked and it was gone. Kind of like was feeling like, oh, it was just my eyes. You know, I let my spiritual ego get in the way, and I was kind of like, okay, that was whatever. I brushed it off. But it wasn't whatever. When I saw it, my heart dropped into my stomach. When I saw it, I felt really uncomfortable and really uneasy, and I was like, this is what's been watching me all night. That was the first thing that popped into my head, right? So I had that feeling, and I was kind of like, ugh, you know, whatever. And I filmed like reading Candle Cove. That was the last video that I had filmed that night. And after doing that, I realized that Annabelle's legs had uncrossed themselves. Now, I will not sit here and say like, that's impossible. You know what I mean? Sometimes I move, sometimes I brush her, but to like literally uncross her legs the way that they were, for the most part, I don't let my animals, I say as Lily is literally back there laying down. I don't let my animals in here unattended because, especially not the dogs, I never let the dogs into my office because I do keep the guinea pigs in here. Lily is really the only cat who's like not interested in them at all, doesn't give a crap. The other cats will be like, what is this? You know, really interested, and the dogs are very interested too. So I know for a fact that I always close the door really securely behind me so nothing can ever happen with the pigs. And I know that there wasn't someone or something in here uncrossing Annabelle's legs. You get what I mean? So when I watched back the footage of Dear David and I realized Annabelle has her legs crossed there, and I looked and she had her legs uncrossed across the room from me, I felt, and I get chills thinking about it, really uneasy and just really like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies to even think about. I've said that already once in this video. I guess heebie-jeebies is my new catchphrase. But it just made me feel really uncomfortable. And so uncomfortable that I grabbed my computer, I grabbed my charger, I left my desk and my workstation, and I edited in my living room. I was that uncomfortable. Posted about it on Twitter and was just kind of like, whatever, life goes on, like crap happens, you know what I mean? It probably is explainable, and I probably just was feeling, you know, creeped out. Wasn't really even going to make this kind of a video, even though I was kind of like, huh, after everyone was saying those things about Ava, my haunted doll, again, haunted. At this point, that was really what was in my head. I kind of thought of Ava more as a pretty clown doll more than anything. And then what happened, I had the most vivid set of dreams last night that I have got to tell you guys about. And then the final occurrence of, well, I guess technically this morning at like 5 a.m. is what really leads me to believe that Ava is not only really haunted, but very powerful, and I should not be ignoring her and stuffing her into a box. And here are my reasons why. So last night, I had the most vivid set of dreams. And the first one was one about my Raggedy Ann doll. And in my dream, I saw what looked like not a huge black mass, but it was like a black mass a little bit taller than Annabelle. And it had like strings attached to it. It was like puppeteering her hands and her legs, and she was like crawling towards me. Oh god, it freaks me out so bad to think about, but like she was crawling towards me in this dream. I don't even remember if this was like, I don't remember the layout, I don't remember the room, I don't remember anything. I just know she was crawling towards me in this dream, and I was feeling very panicked and like I had to get away. And in my head, not out loud, it was like I heard a little girl say, "Then don't ignore me." And literally I woke up. Wide awake, woke up. I saw Annabelle crawling towards me and then heard a little girl say, "Don't ignore me," or "Don't ignore me then," or something like that. I was just honestly putting it in my head that maybe Annabelle had creeped me out so much. This was like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 something. It was really early in the morning. I got up, I peed, I drank some water, I kind of calmed myself back down. I honestly was debating just like waking up at that point, but I had only been asleep for like 4 hours. So I was just sort of like, okay, that was strange, but I'll kind of just make a mental note of that and maybe talk about it in an upcoming like paranormal video. Like, I noticed Annabelle's legs uncrossing. I had this dream where she was crawling towards me and there was this black thing like controlling her. And when I tell you a black mass, it had no discernible facial features whatsoever. And then I heard a little girl say, "Don't ignore me then." And I wake up. And that was weird. And then the next dream was what truly, truly scared me to the core of my soul. Like, I woke up from this dream in like a state I can't even begin to explain. In this dream, everyone I loved, oh my god, everyone I loved died. Like, everyone I care about, everyone I loved, all of my family, all of my friends all died. And we were like, it was like across the country. It was like I went to someone I loved's funeral, and at the funeral, someone else that I loved right next to me dropped dead. Like, all of the people that I love were dying. And it felt so vivid, and like I was so upset and so terrified. I woke up, you guys, on the brink of tears. Like, that is how vivid and real this dream felt. And I had the dream. And in the dream, at the end of every single person dying, I would hear this little like musical like da 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 da, like something. Like, I would hear what sounded like a music box almost. And I couldn't really like explain to you what the music box was, but I would just keep hearing a music box at the end of every single person dying. And when I woke up at like 5 in the morning, like wide awake from this dream, so freaked out. I should also quickly mention, I knew it was a dream. I knew it wasn't real, like 5 deaths into the dream. And I kept trying to wake up, and it wasn't really sleep paralysis. It was like I just couldn't wake up. And I just felt so uneasy. So I just heard the weirdest noise. That was so strange. everyone I loved would die, and I would hear this da 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 da, like this weird music box sort of thing. And when I woke up, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I dreamed that for so long. I'm so upset. I started to write it down, the dream. And as I did, I heard that noise. If that wasn't on camera, I'm gonna be so mad. I swear to you, I just saw something over there. I just saw something move. Okay, if that was not on camera, I'm gonna be really upset. Oh my God, that was so weird. Oh, I have chills. Oh my God, okay, this makes it so much worse because I'm about to play you Ava's music box. This is what I heard in my dream. And this is what I heard when I woke up. Okay, I need to keep filming, so she's gonna keep going off in the background. But I heard what sounded like that, basically. And can I be certain that it was that and it wasn't just my mind, like, still waking? You know how sleep paralysis is, where you can hallucinate things? Maybe that's what it was. I'm not writing that off, that it was not Ava going off downstairs. So I heard it regardless. I heard a music box, and I swear to you, it sounded identical to that song. And I came downstairs and she was exactly where I had left her, and I had unpacked her recently. I guess I should have said that earlier. I've just been going through bins and kind of like putting things away that needed to be put away and then taking things out of storage, and she had been taken out of storage and was literally under a pile of clothes in my living room. Just like under a pile of clothes. So, okay. Here are my honest thoughts, and here's like honestly what I think, and you guys can think I'm crazy. That's totally fine at this point. I don't think I could ever seem sane. So I think that Annabelle gets a lot of attention. I think that Annabelle gets to sit here on my, you know, chair here in the beauty room. I talk about Annabelle, like I dress Annabelle up, I give Annabelle toys. Like, I think that it could be possible that Ava got jealous that I was ignoring her and putting her into a box. And in some capacity, maybe she was like puppeteering Annabelle. Does that make any sense? Like moving her legs, moving her arms, stuff like that. Moving her arms in my dreams, but like moving her legs in real life. And that's the only real thing that I can think of. There is, of course, the possibility that I did get the other haunted doll in my mystery box, and this could all be attributed to her. But I just find it weird that I heard Ava's music box. Like, it feels like Ava to me. That's the only thing I can describe. So I'd like to publicly say here on camera, I'm sorry, Ava, for putting you inside of a box for so long and for ignoring you, because I'm not gonna do that anymore. Ava's going to have a nice permanent home here in the beauty room. Right, Lily? What do you think? Lily is getting so chunky. I can't even pick her up with one hand right now. But yeah, so Ava's gonna have a permanent spot in my place. I don't think that Ava is a bad spirit. I don't think that Ava means any harm. I think that Ava was throwing a tantrum. I do truly believe that this doll is haunted now, though, because specifically that dream, it was so vivid and so real. And the other things that have been happening just kind of bring me to the conclusion. I truly believe that this doll needs attention, and I think that I haven't been giving her the love and attention that she needs. So I will be sure to do that from now on, and I will give her a place in my home. But I do think that kind of coming to this realization right now, and I will never say never, I won't have you guys look at me and be like, yeah, let's go back a few months and you said you'd never get a haunted doll. I don't think I'll ever specifically like look out one again. I still will collect dolls, but I don't think I'll ever get another haunted one, just because of how real my experiences with Ava have been. And honestly, I was considering getting another one. And I think that like Ava was just literally like, no, like you don't even pay attention to me. Don't get another doll that you won't pay attention to. So yeah, I'm sorry, girl. I should have paid better attention to you. And that is my major update for my haunted doll. If anything further happens, I will let you guys know. Let me know what you think of this update down below. Do you think it was all in my head, that I was just dreaming about creepy things because I thought that Annabelle's like legs moved? Do you think it's like real and the conclusions I came to were real? Let me know what you guys think. I love you all so very much. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.